Another Savior.
Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior.
Another Savior.
Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 Olumebujuku is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 Olumebujuku is another Savior. Holy, 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 Olumebujuku is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyamadika yabika kwa namno. Hey, anamekele mazuche mefo. Mwanemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nnamdi is another Savior. Sing along, holy, 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 Nnamdi is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting moving right and getting moving faster now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, holy, getting moving right and moving faster. Get the freedom. Is another Savior. Yeah, for freedom. Holy, 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 Nnamdi is another Savior.
Need to continue. Our main news that I have wanted to lead on before this very news broke earlier this evening is that there was a revolution now, a protest that happened in Abuja earlier today and in Lagos and in a few other places, so we are told. And at that very gathering, a lot of people were arrested. You could see a convoy of military men going to stop protesters. Now, in the trailer, should I say, in the brief write-up I made informing the whole world that I will do this very program this evening, I said that one of the difficulties in life is getting a black man to reason. Every time I come on air, I say the same thing now and ever again. Each time you try to educate a black man, it is always a very arduous, very difficult, and sometimes an impossible task. But my only happiness is that Chukwu Okike Abiama created IPOB, the people of Biafra, in such a way that we can reason. The army said they have no men to go and protect the villagers in southern Kaduna. They said we have tried our best with Boko Haram, we can no longer fight them, and all the other terrorists that they themselves actually gave birth to. It was the Fulani that formed all the terrorist groups you have in the zoo. They can no longer fight them. But you have enough supply, enough reserve of men, enough guns, enough tear gas, enough rocket-propelled grenade to go and arrest, to go and kill, to go and disrupt protesters. This is in a country that presupposes that it is a democracy. This is in a country that, would like the world, or should I say in a zoo that would like the whole world to see it as practicing constitutional democracy. People came out, ordinary protest. You've heard about protesters going, violent protests happening in America. Violent protests, toppling of statues and everything all over the Western world. Nobody has been arrested or charged. But in the zoo, in the darkness of Africa itself, once you come out on the street to protest, you are done for. And they were arrested. I will tell you, over 40 Revolution Now protesters arrested in Abuja as military personnel patrol the city. Military personnel. The same military personnel that is needed at the war front in Borno. The same military personnel that should be in Adamawa. The same military personnel that should be in southern Kaduna. No, lo and behold, no, they're not fighting terrorists who are killing people. They are busy in the townships looking for people carrying placards to arrest. And you're telling me that you are a human being. You are a conscientious human being. You have reason. You can think very well. And some of you are the animals that you are in a zoo, which is the reason why black people all over the world, not only are they suffering, they are the poorest region in the world. They are the least educated. They are the most poverty ravaged in the whole world. They are the ones who are begging to be enslaved. A people without shame. All of you are there. The army left the war front. The army left southern Kaduna, but they went to Abuja to go and arrest people who are protesting for better living conditions, people who are protesting for you to have electricity. They are protesting for you to have running water. They are protesting for you to have decent education. They are protesting for you to have good hospitals. All of you are there sheepishly. Who are the people in the army? Sometimes look about the army and the police as if they are from outer space. They are your fathers. They are your uncles. They are your brothers. Some of them are your sisters. Some of them are your aunts. But they go out on the street. Some of them who are sensible stay back and they don't do all this rubbish. They go out on the street to go and arrest people who are protesting for free education for their children. You have an army officer or an army personnel or police personnel who are always complaining. We don't have money for food. We've not been paid. I cannot pay my children's school fees. I am suffering. But you have people who are protesting to make your life as stupid as you are in that your useless uniform. People are protesting to make your useless black nigger life better. You go and you arrest them. You lock them up without trial. You abuse them. The pictures are everywhere, and I want it posted on my page so that the whole world can see it. What I'm asking is, are those people carrying those guns, those AK-47 they never manufactured? Are all of you carrying tear gas, the launchers and the canisters? Are you not human beings? Have you ever sat down to ask yourself? Of course, some of them are historical. They don't know anything about history. They don't have any brain. They cannot reason very well. Some of you have forgotten. Some of you have forgotten that communism collapsed in Soviet Union because the soldiers refused to open fire on the masses. Some of you have forgotten this. Some of you idiots in the zoo supporting one Nigeria. Some of you Neanderthals. Some of you retards that cannot reason very well. You have forgotten that it was the failure of the army to engage ordinary citizens that led to the collapse of the dreaded communist party you had in Soviet Union. You have forgotten. But in Africa, you have idiots who are in uniform. I can't believe, for the life of me, sometimes I keep wondering the type of brain that black people have. You are a soldier in a zoo called Nigeria. You don't have electricity. You can barely afford to survive. Your mates are being slaughtered at the war front. There is no gratuity. There is no pension. You have nothing. The one that spoke out against the very shambolic treatment the soldiers at the war front are receiving is in jail. All of you kept quiet. You people that are wearing police saying obey the last, which stupid order? You are in a democracy where reasoning and common sense should be the overriding factor, not any stupid order you receive from anybody. Some of you are there helping the Janjaweed to conquer your villages. As you're busy suppressing people who are fighting for your freedom, their own terrorists are busy in your village raping and killing. And some of you in this uniform, you cannot reason, you cannot think properly, you cannot articulate a way out of your miserable existence in the zoo. Now you understand it. Some of you, you wake up in the morning, you wear that your stupid, be it army uniform, police uniform, or what is it called again? The civil defense uniform. You are going out to persecute people on behalf of people who are looters and criminals. You are going to persecute people who are fighting for your freedom. You are going out to shoot and arrest people who are fighting for a better life for you and your children tomorrow. Tell me which greater idiot is there than you. I have said this before and I will say it again. Everybody in the army, in the zoo, you must resign and leave. In that same army, you have Hausa people who are there. You Hausa man or Hausa woman who is in the army. Let me ask you a very simple question. The same stupidity you're exhibiting today by fighting those who are fighting for freedom was what your ancestors did. That is why today you don't have any Hausa man who is an MM. You have no Hausa governor. The same stupidity. I don't know what is wrong with Hausa people. You people are so dumb, you're so foolish, you never learn. The same Sokoto you have today used to be called Gobe. It was your land. The Fulanis took it because the same stupidity you're exhibiting now, you exhibited today in Abuja, was what your ancestors did against their kings fighting Fulani Janjaweedism. You fought on the part of Fulani. Look at your life today. The same mistakes you made in the past, you're repeating it today. I don't know why you fools can never learn. I don't know what is wrong with the brain of an Awasa person. Awasa can never reason. Does it mean you people like to be slaves? I'm asking you, does it mean you want to be slave? They use that religious coloration. They use that Hausa, Fulani nomenclature to deceive you, to turn your brain upside down. You wear khaki uniform. You are arresting young people who are protesting to make your lives better. How stupid can you be? How foolish. Do you think they're fighting for themselves? All those people you're like, okay, lie down, you're flogging them, you're punishing them. Do you think they left their homes to come outside to do what? They are fighting for you. You in police uniform, you in army uniform, those people are fighting for you because you have no brain. The same stupidity, or what would I call it? The same Ohanese mindset you have in some policemen who are in Biafra land, arresting their own people, fighting for their freedom. Now, that leads me always to ask myself this question. What is wrong with does it mean that the people who are protesting, you don't know what they're protesting about? Does it mean you don't know what revolution now is all about? Does it mean you have no idea that things are bad in the zoo? Do you know, as an army or police officer, that your actions is the reason why that woman, Sadia, whatever her name is, they are looting money? Do you know, you army officer and police officer, your stupidity and protection of the Fulani Janjaweed, should I say, the Janjaweed project, the Fulanization project, is the reason why people are stealing money? Because they know they will call one officer, okay, officer, correct, sir, stand up now, go to Wuse Zone 2, shoot all of them, and you idiot will go and shoot people in a civilian, so-called democratic regime. Where have you seen that nonsense happen before? America is the strongest country in the world. People are protesting. Trump is angry. Every day he's angry about the destruction being brought by these people. Has he ever asked the soldiers to go and open fire? Did you see the soldiers in America? Somebody please go and look for that video of not soldiers. They are called the what's the reserve force, National Guard in America. They called them out to come and stop protesters, and they came. One of the protesters spoke to the soldiers. The soldiers turned around and joined them. Have you not seen it? You stupid animalistic zoo soldier. Have you not seen it? Anyway, of course, some of them are from Mali. They are from Chad. They are from Niger. So they have no empathy. They don't feel this nonsense some of you feel. They don't feel this one Nigeria rubbish that some of you feel. Because most of the soldiers that you see, sometimes they use padlock to lock their mouth. They call them the soldiers of the Sultanate. They go to the whole of Sahel recruiting demons, put uniform on them, they come out, they shoot and they kill at will. And you have the law courts that are there to prosecute them. But the law courts are being managed by the Sharia people. You know that very well. Can't all of you see all these things? All of you policeman or policewoman or army man or army woman, dressing up tomorrow morning to go and arrest somebody to go and shoot. Does it mean that your brain, the brain that God gave to you, is not working very well? Is that what it means? Is that what it means? You are a soldier. People are fighting for the... Can't you see when that soldier lamented about the plight of soldiers at the war front, the goodwill of ordinary civilians? Can't all of you see it? How civilians even want more help for soldiers to go and fight terrorism. Can you all not see that? The same people came out telling you that what the government is doing is wrong, not just to themselves, but even to you. How much are you getting paid? You're being paid 30,000 naira every month. 40,000 naira. 40,000 naira cannot get you a one-way ticket from Owerri to Lagos. One flight ticket, no, it is lower than a flight ticket to Lagos from Owerri. Lower than a flight ticket from Asaba to Abuja. Why can't you reason and understand that these people are fighting for you? Sometimes you say, can't you see soldiers in America, they're paid very well. Soldiers in Britain, they're paid very well. Soldiers in France, their police, they pay them well. Do you know why they pay them well? Because when ordinary people rose up to fight the corruption that was holding everybody down, their soldiers stayed calm. They never intervened to kill anybody. So when the revolution succeeded, they increased the salaries of soldiers, of police, and of everybody. It's common sense. Some of you fools cannot reason very well. Some of you fools cannot reason very well. If your brains were open, if you are receptive to a very tiny grain of common sense, you won't be doing what you're doing today in this room. You cannot be doing it. The time now is actually 8 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. This 8 p.m. just a minute past 8 p.m. We started very late and I've apologized for that. There were some gremlins, maybe the anger that I had inside me because of what Ohaneze did somehow affected our systems, but we are live and we are direct and the whole world is paying us attention. We are talking about the zoo, arresting people who have done nothing to you. These are people fighting for your lives to improve. That is the difference between a black African monkey, a black man in Africa, stupid and hopeless. That is the difference between them and people who are outside. I will ask you again, go and read the history of communism. Boris Yeltsin, the then president of the Russian Federation, mounted an armored tank in front of the parliament of Russia called the White House and asked the soldiers not to open fire against their people. The soldiers said they will not open fire against their people, and a corrupt regime was toppled in the zoo in Africa, in the darkness itself. You people cannot reason very well. That is why when you go outside, you start arresting and shooting people who are fighting for your own survival. The same thing, the same mindset with Sabotua. Sabo will not see Fulani herdsmen in his village or in her village. Sabo can never see it. Sabo will always fight those who are fighting people that have come to oppress them. That is the work of Sabotua. This thing that Ohaneze have just done. That is their job. That is what they do. That is their life. That is their way of life. That's the way they behave.